Is there a such thing as too much money? Can you really suffer from success? Greed doesn't care how much you make. It doesn't care about your status, your contract, or your net worth. It only cares about what you don't have yet. And lately, greed's been dribbling up the court in the NBA. Headlines broke out. FBI investigations, player involvement, possible game manipulation. Names like Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Malik Beasley getting mentioned. Each one connected, in one way or another, to ongoing inquiries into sports betting and insider gambling activity. Let that sink in. Athletes, multi-million-dollar professionals, risking it all for bets. It's the kind of story that makes you ask, why? According to recent reports, the FBI has been investigating whether players were involved in manipulating aspects of games, point spreads, performance bets, or providing inside information to bettors. Nothing's been proven in court yet, but the investigations have been enough to shake the foundation of the league. Terry Rozier, currently under scrutiny for his alleged ties to a network suspected of influencing wagers. Chauncey Billups, mentioned due to irregularities tied to coaching decisions in games with unusual betting spikes. Malik Beasley, cleared of wrongdoing, was formally under review for communication patterns coinciding with betting data. Again, these are allegations, not convictions, but perception moves faster than proof. And in the world of sports, perception is currency. Here's where it gets interesting and sad. Because this isn't new. It's human. See, once you've earned everything you ever wanted, greed starts whispering that you deserve just a little bit extra. These players make tens of millions of dollars. Some make hundreds of millions of dollars. They're not struggling to pay rent. They're struggling with contentment. When you live above your means, financially or emotionally, you start chasing highs instead of stability. That's when money becomes less of a blessing and more of a drug. The irony, they already won. But when you forget how to stop chasing, the finish line keeps moving. This isn't just about the individuals. It's about the system around them. When players bet, or even look like they're betting, the integrity of the entire league comes into question. Because if the outcome's not honest, the game loses its soul. The NBA is built on trust between fans, teams, and the product they pay to watch. That trust took a hit back in the 2000s when Tim Donaghy, an NBA referee, was caught betting on games he officiated. That scandal cost the league millions, shattered reputations, and nearly destroyed the credibility of officiating for an entire generation. Now, it's déjà vu. Same song, different verse. These aren't just scandals. They're reflections of a bigger truth about human nature and the corporate world. Power breeds temptation. Temptation tests integrity. And integrity determines longevity. Whether it's Wall Street, Hollywood, or professional sports, the cycle is the same. Once the money becomes the motive, morality becomes negotiable. And the same greed that builds empires also burns them down. Let's talk impact. When a player gets caught in a scandal, the organization pays too. Teams lose sponsorships, brands pull endorsements, investors get nervous. The NBA can't afford another trust crisis. Every accusation forces fans to wonder if what they're watching is real. And when fans start to doubt the product starts to die. What's worse? It's not just the league or the headlines, it's the players themselves. For every Rozier or Beasley, there are hundreds of young athletes watching, taking notes. They see success, but also shortcuts. And in the culture of get it however you can, shortcuts look like strategy until they ruin your career. We've seen this movie before, from insider trading on Wall Street to corporate fraud to doping in sports. The specifics change, but the moral stays the same. Greed always overplays its hand. Every scandal has a shadow figure, someone who knew too much, who whispered the wrong advice at the right time, who understood the system better than most. Some fans like to call this person the mastermind. It's the archetype, not the name. You know, the veteran who's seen both the bright lights and the dark rooms behind them, the one who understands how the money moves, the one who doesn't have to touch the ball to control the game. It's easy to imagine this kind of figure orchestrating, connecting, playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. But maybe the real mastermind isn't a person. Maybe it's the greed itself. Because once it takes root, it doesn't need a leader. It just needs access. So what's the takeaway here? Greed doesn't just destroy careers, it distorts priorities. When more becomes the goal, you lose sight of enough. It's not just an NBA problem, it's a human one. From the boardroom to the locker room, the question is always the same. How much is too much? And every time we ignore that question, we get another headline just like this one. Maybe the real scandal isn't that they got caught betting. Maybe it's that they forgot what they were really playing for. Because at the end of the day, money can buy status, but it can't buy self-control. And if greed keeps calling, someone's always going to pick up. You're speaking